Knick Some Noise, it's your man, Why Me. Salute to the squad, salute to everybody tuning in for this fourth episode of Knick Some Noise. The New Orleans Pelicans, home opener. The Knicks go down to the Big Easy and get cracked. Unfortunately, it wasn't a good game for our squad, but let's talk about it. So the New Orleans Pelicans are now sitting at 2-0. They were sitting at 1-0. Home opener, 97-86. Catch us on the road on a back-to-back, possibly slipping, possibly tired, possibly coming off that jet lag travel bug from Atlanta, from a defining win in Atlanta into New Orleans. So, unfortunately, again, we get a poor performance from our stars. We get a poor performance from our core players, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and R.J. Barrett. Unfortunately, they all hit the under. If we jump back up to the starting lineup stats as we showing here, R.J. Barrett comes up with 18 points, Brunson comes up with 14, and Julius Randle comes up with 10. On the bright side, Julius Randle, however, did manage to get a double-double, 10 points and 12 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson nearly managed a double-double with 8 points and 15 rebounds. But the main thing that I like about Mitchell Robinson, if you highlight that stat, offensive rebounds, shout out to Mitch. 10 offensive rebounds, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is big. That's winning your matchup. That's boxing out. That's creating space when the shot's going up. That's awareness. That's the awareness that I'm talking about. Just on a side note, and if you go back to my second episode, just on a side note, that's the awareness that I'm talking about when it comes to Mitchell Robinson possibly being an Olympian in one of these runs that come up. And I also did put out a tweet that Zion needs to be the front runner for that next Olympics group that's coming up as well. Your man needs to stay healthy. He looks really good around the basket. His finishing ability looks really good. His touch pause looks really good as well. Salute to, his health. I don't want to see him too much more in that mode, that style of play, because it kills us. It attacks Randle. It attacks our front court, and he's a problem. Shout out to Bi also. Bi had motivation playing behind Josh Hart in the FIBA World Cup. Bi had something to prove. He knew that he was going to be matched up against Josh Hart. He wanted to show that he's better than him. So shout out to Bi as well. The Duke boys came out and represented as well. But at the end of the day, the two Dukies on the New Orleans Pelicans were victorious against our one. But salute to R.J. Barrett. His progression as well has been keeping us in games. As you can see, field goal percentage, 7 of 16 from the field. I mean, not so good performance from any of our cast from the three-point line. Emmanuel Quickly, not so great. Quentin Grimes, 1 of 6. RJ, 1 of 6. Brunson, 1 of 5. Randle, 0 of 5. I mean, look, Quickly 0 of 3. If nobody's hitting the 3, I think we went 5 for 32 in three-pointers. If no one's hitting the 3 on our team, you can pack it up. We tried to make something happen. I know a lot of people are commenting towards the end of the game where Quickly shot that transition three-pointer. But, I mean, as our best three-point shooter, we were trying to make something happen. And at that point, it's either you gun it and you put your foot on the gas and you try to play as intense defense as possible, and you try to live with those shots that you can make to revive your team, to revitalize the crowd. It was a mixed fan base as well. The Knicks fans travel very well, so we were represented down in the Bayou. We had a lot of our fans there that were looking to cheer on the team. So it's not one of those things where you're on the road and you got to be smart or you got to be careful. We have fans in the seats, so I don't see the reason or anything wrong with guys trying to galvanize the crowd and get them on our side, because pretty much the crowd was quiet tonight as far as Knicks fans. So again, we need a better performance, guys. The next game is in Cleveland. We get some rest, but we need a better performance from our stars. On the sports line, I bet R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and Julius Randle would have the over on assists. They gave RJ and Quickly 2.5 assists. They gave Randall 4.5 assists. Randall almost hit the line, and RJ almost hit the line. Quickly, we get one dime from Quick. But I've seen sequences where Randall was making that kick out pass. He made a kick out pass to Dante. He made a kick out pass to some other players. They kicking it out to Grimes. We're not hitting shots. No one can get those dimes if no one can make those shots. Rebounding, we did well. Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle established themselves on the rebounding end, both offensively and defensively. If you can see Randle having 12 defensive, Mitchell having 10 offensive. We controlled the game from a somewhat rebounding perspective. I also had Zion going over 6 rebounds, and he came up with 5. So the lines were crazy last night, and this was one of those games where we would get a great performance from the home team, but a not so great performance. I mean, 96 points at home, that's okay, but this is your home opener, and if you get us 26-12 in the first quarter, I mean, you coasting at that point. We tied the fourth quarter, but the first quarter was the quarter that we really lost. We came back in the second half, and we tried to force the tempo, push the tempo. We actually brought the lead from down to 17 to about 6, but the guys on the other end were too much for us. They continued to hold the game steady and make runs with using all of their team. If we're going to look at the stats from the other side, Zion came up with 24, B.I. came up with 26, Herb Jones with 10, Valanciunas with 8, and McCollum had 12. So you got contribution from all of your starters, you got defensive intensity from your main player, and you had offensive intensity from your main player. I think that it's not much. It's you don't make a big to-do about Zion and his second game out of 150 games that that has missed. Okay, great, bro. You had a good game. This is your first game back in I don't know how long. You got all this going on in the media, and you got all this going on in your professional life. Great. My man Randall has been holding it down for the last 4 years, bro. So I'm not making a big deal about this. Randall has been holding down a squad in a major market for the last 4 years. So Zion, have yourself a day, bro. Welcome back to the league. Welcome back to work. Thank you for having a good game. Thank you for giving the fans and bringing the fans what they wanted to see. But at the end of the day, all that flexing and all that, save that for the playoffs, bro. Save that for some better games, more meaningful games than playing in your second game against the Knicks and whatever you want to call it. But like I said, you had a good game. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. Like, he's been holding your place down for a while, bro. So easy on the Kool-Aid, but you had a good game. And you do look really good as far as like your moves and all of that. Getting up and down the court, getting up and down on offense, your jumping ability and everything seems to be, intact. And as long as you can do what you got to do, we would like to see more of this. But this is just second game back in like 150 games. So I'd take it easy if I was you. Don't drink the Kool-Aid too early. My man Randall been holding it down for 4 years, bro. 5 years in a major market. And I see him coming back slow. Let me back up. Let me you know what I'm saying? Because I got a little excited, man. I seen Zion doing a little bit too much, bro. You ain't been playing, and I don't know how long, man. So take it easy, bro. But at the end of the day, I expect Randall to come back a little slow. Ankle injury and ankle surgery is something, and then you're not playing all summer. I expect Randall to be a little slow to the draw, maybe not having the crispiest offensive game that he could possibly have. And in combination with nobody else having a good game. So if he's not having a good game, nobody else is having a good game, you expect a good game from Brunson. So in our third game, Brunson's only had one good game against Atlanta. In our third game, RJ has had 3 good games. In our third game, Randall hasn't had any good games, so to speak. So I expected him to start slow. The player that I'm looking for on in this whole deal of things is Quentin Grimes. Scooby Doo, where are you? That's Quentin Grimes. Where you at, bro? Because at the end, we looking at Quentin Grimes' stats. You giving us 5 and you a starter, but you're here to shoot the ball. You get 6 3-point opportunities and you make 1. Quickly sitting on the bench. He's sacrificing money, and I don't necessarily think that him starting is a bad thing, but like I know how Tibbs does the lineups, and I know he's not gonna shake it up like that. But IQ is sitting on the bench. He's definitely a more capable offensive player. My man, you coming off the bench, you averaging 7 points, you giving us 5 when we need 9. 1.3 rebounds, under 1 assist, and 36% from the field. We need more from Quentin Grimes. As a starter, more defensive intensity, and more points, more production. You getting shots. My thing about Grimes is when he actually gets the ball, he treats it like he's never going to get the ball again. He plays too fast. He shoots too fast. I don't think he's settled in the offense yet because he's trying so hard. Or maybe that's just the tempo that he plays, but the game needs to slow down a little bit more for him. And I think he would be a much more effective basketball player. Obviously, this is me sitting in my living room talking to a camera. I'm, you know what I'm saying? But from what I see as a fan, as a student of the game, he needs to play just a little bit slower to allow the defense time to also react to what he's doing. He gets the ball, catch a shoot. It's immediately going up. Gets the ball. He's immediately not allowing the defense to be off center. All you have to do is sit down on a guy like Quentin Grimes, pause, and stay home, because he's gonna do one or two things. And going to the basket, you need to attack the basket more because you got the vertical ability. You got some hops. I seen you in the rookie game or whatever, the rookie sophomore game or whatever. Like, he can go, but you need to slow down in the offense, because what happens is as soon as you get the ball, you making split-second decisions on a catch. Make a split-second decision on a cut of your teammate. Make a split-second decision on a defender closing out on you. Make a split-second decision on, you know what I'm saying, like a situation where you got some space now. But he's making a split-second decision. As soon as he catches the ball, he's got to do something with it. So I'm looking for a guy like Grimes to settle down into the offense as well. 5 points, bro. We need more than that. We need more than 5 for when your 3 main players are not doing well. When Randall's not having a good game, when Brunson's not having a good game, when RJ is holding it down but not having the best game that he can have, or you see RJ holding it down by itself, you got to step up. You a starter. You got to step up. In 3 games played, okay, you averaging 7, but for real, we need you to be at where your career average is right now. 9 to 10. You got to make that leap. But at the end, I see Quentin Grimes as still being right now an important part of our team defensively, but offensively, you got to make that leap because we also need the points. We're not really getting a good performance from DiVincenzo so far. He's our newest acquisition. He needs to... I think his rhythm is a little bit off. He's got to get used to playing a different style of basketball. The floor is not as spaced on this team as it is on the Golden State Warriors. And there are not a lot of guys who move without the ball I mean, there's nobody who in this league who can move without the ball in combination as good as Stephen Curry and as good as a healthy Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson. So you got two guys who can move without the ball, and then Jordan Poole was there. So you got guys on that team that can move without the ball. He's coming to the squad now. We're more of an isolation team that we pass out of isolation plays. So he's looking a little bit bored, and I can understand that. He's looking to force the issue, but again, guys don't move without the ball as good on our team as they do on the Warriors. So he needs to make the adjustment and figure out where he fits in the offense, and when he comes in, how to be effective on this team. I'm giving him a little bit grace. I'm giving him maybe like 25% of the season to actually figure it out. At the end, I don't really care about not to say like I don't really care about the performance of everybody else because they came in when it was garbage time. Josh Hart, we spoke about Josh Hart, 10 rebounds, strong rebounding performance from Josh Hart, but we're gonna need a little bit more offensively from Josh when he comes in the game too. 3 points wouldn't be sufficient for a guy, getting 21. I think Josh Hart needs to be more aggressive, to be honest with you. He needs to be that slasher. He needs to drive the basketball and then just go try to dunk on somebody, yo. Just go power up and try to dunk on. Just try to finish over the top of somebody from their front court once or twice per game. Because I think Josh Hart has the physicality to do it, just like Randall. But he can also penetrate and dish and kick it out as well. But I think Josh Hart needs to catch the ball on a strong closeout from a defender, drive it, and then just go up. Because standing around the 3-point line isn't going to prove well for this team and our bench and guys like Hart. He's an excellent rebounder, and that's why he started over BI in the FIBA. But I think we needed the points more than we needed the rebounding. We needed the ability to impose our will offensively more than we needed to impose our will defensively or to secure possessions. We had killers on that team, and I don't think he necessarily fit, but I think Brandon Ingram should have definitely started in the FIBA. But I don't know what the situation was with the coach, but that's why Brandon Ingram came out the way he did. That's why he came out the way he did last night. He was like, oh, y'all gonna start him over me, and then second game of the season, we at home. So there was a lot of motivation from the New Orleans Pelicans side. We ain't seen Zion in ages. B.I. has something to prove. And the rest of the cast, they follow suit. Yeah, I mean, you didn't really get a great performance from everybody else. You just got a terrible performance from the Knicks. Nobody on our team had 20. They gave RJ 19.5. Brunson had 21.5. And they gave Randall 24.5. Or was it 21.5? Let's just say for argument's sake, they gave Randall and Brunson 21.5. I definitely picked Randall under 21.5. But I had Brunson over 21.5, and I had RJ over 19.5. Come on, son. So this is why we lost tonight. But if this is how it's gonna go, this is why we may continue to lose. And this first, 2 weeks of the season, the gauntlet that we were talking about, that 10-game stretch that we gotta play all these good teams, and we gotta play the Bucks, and we gotta play the Bucks in the in-season tournament. I mean, we gotta tighten up fast, and we need more performance from Brunson and Randall specifically. Need it from Grimes. We need it from Quickly. Mitchell Robinson is holding it down, 15 and 8. That's, 8 points and 15 rebounds. I'll switch it around, 8 and 15. How many block shots? 2 blocks, 8, 15, and 2. Mitch is holding it down. Go back to my second video. Consistency from Mitch on the defensive end, defensively as far as block shots, offensive rebounding, he'd be the top offensive rebounder in the game. I'm all for that. That's like Dennis Rodman numbers. You know what I'm saying? As far as from the offensive rebounder side, 15 defensive. And a lot of those rebounds, he was just running the floor, letting Randall run the, like, you know what I'm saying? Randall get the defensive rebound and bring the ball up. But if, for instance, Randall was being boxed out, Mitch could have had like 20 rebounds. But on a miss, if Randall's there, Mitch will defer the defensive rebound to Randall so Randall could just bring the ball up and we get into the offense a couple seconds quicker. That's how it works. But, you know, we don't need to see more point guard, Julius. We got a point guard. But again, that's how that works. So when you running those numbers and when you looking at the numbers, these are the things you look at. Against Cleveland, I don't see a lot of missed shots against Cleveland that will bring. But if Donovan Mitchell is not playing, if Donovan Mitchell is out, I'm going rebounding, and I'm going rebounding for Randall, and I'm going rebounding for Mitch again. If Donovan Mitchell is out, depending on how many blocks they give Mitch, I'll go blocks. And I'm going points for RJ, and I'm going to go points for Jalen Brunson. If they giving RJ like 20, I'll do it again. And if they giving RJ 2.5 assists, definitely. Quickly as well. So this was a drop, back-to-back, whatever. But we definitely dropped this game with the New Orleans Pelicans, two best players having a lot of motivation individually. Zion, of course, coming back after X amount of games, and B.I. coming back to show and to prove that the next time y'all put me on the squad, you better not start him in front of me. And I get it. I understand. Nothing personal. B.I.'s one of my favorite players in the NBA as well. Like, I think that he has a very smooth offensive game. And I was one of the guys talking about having him on our squad as a Knick. I don't know the logistics of getting him to the Knicks, but I'd rather have him on the Knicks than Zion. But Zion, they're both excellent players. But I think Brandon Ingram is a way better half-court player than Zion is. And he just needs a little bit more bulk and physicality to really be able to influence and affect his will. Like, he need to get up to like a Rudy Gay size as far as like, you know what I mean? He need to get like right there. But like, he need to do it before he, turn 35. But B.I. is one of my dudes in the league. But, listen, man. Knick Some Noise. Leave a comment. I'm tweaking a new setup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just chilling right now in the living room. I got the setup. It's early in the morning for me. It's early on Sunday. You know what I mean? I'm just coming off the road, just like the Knicks, man. This is how we giving it up, man. Gritty content. I was thinking about, setting up the little background and all that, and I might do that too. That's all good, but I think I like this setup better. You know what I'm saying? Gritty content. You know what I'm saying? All you do is brush your teeth, have a cup of tea or coffee, just roll out the, you know what I mean? Butter roll talk. You feel me? Let me get a butter roll, toasted butter roll talk, toasted egg and cheese talk, bacon, egg and cheese talk. You feel me? This is how I feel like I feel a little more comfortable talking basketball in this type of setup, little gritty setup. Like, I wish I could show it to y'all. Table crazy, bills everywhere. I don't even care. Like, this is how I want it. You know what I mean? So, listen, man, Knick Some Noise. It's been a great one. Listen, we need to go to Cleveland, handle business, do what we got to do. Run that playoff vibe back that we've ran on Cleveland. Get back to 2-2. Get back to 500. Listen, the next 6 games are not going to be after Cleveland. Obviously, the next 6 games. Y'all want to talk about the schedule? We can talk about the schedule. Because the next 6 games are going to be important for us to not get off. We can't slide. If we slide, then we slide bad. If we slide, then we slide bad. We don't want to slide bad. We want to slide and to be able to slide right back. You feel me? So, listen, man. They had us against the ropes and we weren't able to come off We weren't able to do what we got to do. Brandon Ingram, Zion, they cooked, man. They cooked. 40, almost 50% from the field, 27% from three, 13 turnovers to our 19. We got them on rebounding, but we were missing a lot of shots. 36%, less than 20% from three, 19 turnovers. So the next time we play the Pelicans will be in February. So, listen, man. Salute to the squad. Salute to Knicks Nation. We got another game in Cleveland. Next couple days? Well, I think it's Wednesday. Got another game in Cleveland. So rest up, fellas. Let's get back to it. Rhymes, we need you, bro. Show up. We need you.